And welcome to the Semester Break Interpersonal Communication course, SPCH 155. This is a quick orientation to help you get acclimated to the course and hopefully prepare you for the next 6 weeks that we have together. As you already know, there is a Start Here button. You should have gotten my message welcoming you and kind of directing you towards this button. That'll give you this orientation along with a few other things that may be of value to you. In addition to that, I wanted to kind of go over the syllabus and schedule and professor details as well as some of the unit content. So first, let's kind of look at these professor details. Considering this is a semester break course, you're going to have different types of access to me than you would if it was a traditional fall, spring, or summer. I do have my office number here as well as my direct line or the extension for my line, and you are more than welcome to see if I might be on campus on a given day so that you can come and talk to me if you would like, or you are welcome to try this phone number as well. Now, considering it's semester break, there is a chance that I will not be in the office on the day that you need. I don't have any established physical office hours because I am not in a traditional semester. But that being said, I will be on campus quite a bit, so there is a good chance you could get a hold of me if need be. There's a little bit of a blurb about myself if you want to take a minute to read through that, and I'll introduce you to my background and all of that in the student discussion lounge too. Like I said, office hours aren't really in existence, but at the same time, you can email me at my SWIC email, kristen.ruppert-leach@swic.edu, and that will get you into the direct line to me through my phone. And that's a pretty easy way for you to get in contact with me. I would recommend that be your first line of attack for getting a hold of me as opposed to trying to call or anything along those lines. A little bit more that you can take a look at. I have been teaching online since 2008. Since 2007. And so I've done quite a bit of detail when it comes to building and maintaining and working through online courses, especially this type of course. So if you have questions or concerns, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. So that's a little bit about how to get a hold of me. Here is the syllabus and schedule. When you take a look at the syllabus, there are a couple of things that you might want to be aware of. First is that this is, as you know, a 6-week class, so it's a little different than you would notice in another type of course. So the screen is actually not going to show you everything here, but that's okay. We'll kind of get you the basics. So a little bit about the way the course works. Again, you have my contact information here. Essentially, the course looks at how to and what is required to develop skills and tactics and techniques that would help you to be better as far as communication skills and practices go. So it looks at a lot of different concepts, verbal and nonverbal communication, all types of theoretical approaches to communication, like the relational dialectics theory and social exchange theory, as well as skills-based tactics like perception and conflict management and language and so on, and nonverbal. Additionally, and you can read the rest of this at your leisure, these things here I think are very understandable once you get a hold of them. This is a course that does not require a traditional textbook. So instead of purchasing a textbook, you are actually going to purchase two things. One is a book written by Dr. Carol Dweck called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. And that one is a real small book, a real easy read. It shouldn't be more than a handful of dollars. And if you want, you could borrow it from a library. You could order the audio book from the library or from audible.com. Either way is fine. You can pretty much get it in any method you want. You can get the ebook or what have you. So this is a good, easy tool to get a hold of. Additionally, you can pick it up at the bookstore. That does have, it is available there to you, and I want to say it's something like $8 or something along those lines. The other thing you need to purchase is at least 2 of the films from this list. Now, you need to either purchase 2 of these films or have access to 2 of these films. So that means you can either get them from the bookstore or Amazon or what have you, or if you would prefer, you can borrow them from the library or rent them somewhere, and just as long as you have access to them at least to view twice each, you should be okay. And these are the movies you want to choose from. And like I said, you can pick all of them. We do have them at the bookstore, so you should be able to pick at least a few that are of interest to you. And I will show you where you can see the trailers for each, just in case you haven't seen all of these yet. But these are all really usable for this particular class. So purchase or have access to at least 2 of these. Additionally, we have the way the assignments work is the course is broken up into 2 units. Each unit is built identically, so you will have the same types of assignments for both units. The only difference being that the content will change. So for example, for each unit, you will need to take notes on some video lectures. While Unit 1, there'll be a series of video lectures, and you'll take notes on them following a particular pattern. Unit 2 will be identical to that, just different videos, if that makes sense. So you'll have unit notes. You'll also need to participate in 1 discussion board per unit. So that means only 2 total over the entire time we're together. However, those need to be fairly substantial. Think of them as papers. So you want to get a lot of detail into each post. You want to provide background on concepts that you choose. You want to give a great amount of detail in describing what the ins and outs are of that concept. And then you also want to apply that information really clearly to those concepts. And so when you choose your personal experience or your background or anything along those lines, then you want to make sure that you apply them directly to the concepts that you are discussing. So you'll have that. You'll need an initial post for each and 2 response posts for each. The other thing that will be involved in both units is a unit exam. And so for that, you will have mostly multiple choice and true false, but there will be a few essay questions on there as well. And then finally, you'll have the unit application assessments, and this is where the films will come in. So you will watch a film probably at least twice. I would recommend at least twice, but probably more like 3 times, so that you can find bits and pieces that really apply to the concepts that you're discussing. So you'll watch the film and then you will answer a series of questions that I will provide to you, and that will get you some good information for your application assessment, and you'll submit that to me. And like I said, each unit is identical, so you will have all of these things: the notes, the discussion, the exam, and the unit application for each unit. So there's a total of 8 assignments, 4 in each unit. There's additional information here you can take a look at your leisure. You do want to participate in the online class. I don't expect you to log in every single day, but I do expect you to be present and submit assignments on time. If, for example, you do not submit the first assignments, then you could very well be withdrawn from the class. So and the way it works, it should be fairly simple to submit them all on time. So I'm hoping you won't have much trouble with it. But that being said, please make sure that you are very careful about making sure you have everything submitted, verifying that they are submitted. And that's pretty much it. You can kind of check out the rest of this here at your leisure. So that is the syllabus. Additionally, we have a course schedule that I think is the most helpful. Now, this video is being recorded during one semester, and it may be different dates for each semester, but this is what you'll want to take a look at. In this column is the range of dates for each unit. So for example, in this particular year, Unit 1 is between the days of November 26th and December 16th. And within that unit, you need to complete all of these things in that time period. So essentially, everything for Unit 1 is due on December 16th. The same process works for the second set of dates. So December 17th through January 6th is Unit 2, and all work from Unit 2 is due on January 6th. Now, that being said, please don't wait till the last minute. You won't be able to complete the work. The only reason we do it this way for the semester break course is that it's kind of laid out in a way where that's necessary, because it's sort of fast paced. So I want you to be able to get everything in a timely manner and done at your own leisure, your own timeline, especially with holidays and all of that. So these are due at these dates, but I would recommend you submit them a lot earlier. For example, all the notes and discussions, I would recommend you get those in within the first week, maybe the second or halfway through the second. Then the exam and the application assignment can be done in the last week and a half of the 3-week session. But you literally have 3 weeks to do all of the work. So please don't put it off till the last minute, because 3 weeks is even a bit of a difficult task if you're not careful. So that's how you can check out the schedule and how you can make use of that. Let's take a look finally at how a unit looks, and then that'll hopefully get you going down the right path. So the units are in 2 folders, and then typically the dates are laid out here for you. So we'll just click on the folder for whatever unit you're on. The first folder will have the lectures and or readings. In this case, there's an overview of the concepts that you'll be looking at for this particular unit. And then you'll see, if you scroll down, 2 folders for the videos, because each unit has 2 chunks of videos. So you will need notes for both sets of videos. So you'll see the communication process videos and the mindset videos. Those are both required for this unit. And then you'll also see the readings that you'll need for this unit as well. So for this one, it's the mindset book. This is why I recommend you hit the ball rolling and you get everything submitted as soon as possible, so that you don't find yourself crunching really hard trying to get through that last bit of stuff right at the due date. So this one, the mindsets, chapters 1, 2, and 3 is required, and chapter 8 is required reading and required notes. The ones in between, 4 through 7, those are only a choice. So you choose one of those. You don't have to read all of those. If you choose one, it's all kind of says the same basic principle, but these offer additional examples. So check out this and see if there's something there that is more prevalent to you. Maybe you are on a sports team and sports are a major part of your life. Well, then I would recommend you read chapter 4 and so on. Okay? Once you get into the videos, they should be easily accessible. There is a playlist for that part of the videos, and then there are tabs that can let you either watch the video or navigate to the video for each one. So you should have a pretty easy, accessible way of getting to all of that. So that's the communication process videos. And if you click on the mindset videos, it's the same thing. There's a playlist for it, as well as a link to all the videos. And most videos are under 10 minutes, so they shouldn't take you a huge amount of time to listen to, but you do need to keep really good track of the notes that you take. So that being said, let's take a look at the assignments. Once you are ready and you kind of got everything good to go, you can take a look at some of this other material. For example, this link will take you through to the trailers for all of the films, or at least most of them. So you can go through, watch the trailer, and there are links to the Amazon purchase of these films, but again, they are available at our bookstore, so you can get them there too, whichever is easiest for you. But the videos should be easily accessible. The films, at least their trailers, are available to you here. And then you have your assignments. And the assignments should be very well described. For example, Unit 1 Notes asks you to follow this template. And this template is what you will be required. I'm going to try and zoom out here because the way I've got this. Oh, that's not going to help. All right. There we go. Okay. So the way the template works is all of your notes. So for every single video, you need to have your notes set up in the same way. So the video title, all the major points or the outline of the video of what's happening in there, the detailed notes of that video, and then a paragraph or so personal reflection of that video. So they're all the same. They all need to follow that template. What you can do is you can either print out a template and make copies for each video, or you can follow along using a Word version of it. Either one is fine. This is a real simple way to organize your thoughts and hopefully get them down in a very clear-cut manner. I do accept handwritten notes, so if you would prefer to handwrite them and then you take photos of them and put that into a Word document, that's totally fine. If you would prefer to just type them up, save them, and submit them, you can do it that way too. But regardless, you need to follow this particular setup. So what are you submitting notes on for Unit 1? You have the 2 sets of videos, the communication process and the mindset videos, and you have the overview and personal reflections on the mindset readings. So you want to make sure to have all of that material for you. Then, how are the notes supposed to be laid out? You want to follow the template. And like I said, if you used handwritten notes, you can take photos and put those all into a Word document. Please listen to me now when I say don't submit individual photos. That is not helpful. It will be very difficult for me to keep track of, and all I'll do is ask you to resubmit. So you are going to need to make sure to put them all into a Word document, save the Word document, or save it as a PDF is even better, and get that laid out very clearly for me to be able to grade. Also, if you take a look here, when you click on the assignment, go to this part where it says View Rubric, and you can kind of see what I'm looking for. So in this case, you have a detailed notes for all the communication process videos, and that's either complete, incomplete, partially complete, or complete. And the same for each one of these. So you can sort of see where the points are divvied up based on what you have done. And then you just, really quick, you can just submit those notes here. So what you'll do is you'll come in here and you will, if it's going to let me scroll down, here we go. Click Browse My Computer, and that will give you a spot to upload whatever documents you're using. Now, the next thing that you're going to take a look at is the discussion. Now, the discussion boards are pretty straightforward, and you will only have 2 of them in the entire 6 weeks that we're together. So you click on that, and you're basically just discussing how your experience with the content went. So like I said earlier, give me a real detailed overview of the content, cite that information using in-text citations, multiple paragraphs at least. Think of this like a paper. All you have to do is create the thread. You'll scroll down and you will copy and paste or type directly into this text box. Don't put it as an attachment, and then click Submit. Okay? All right, so that should be your discussion. When you're ready to respond to a classmate, click on their post, and then once you've clicked on the post, you can click Reply and then submit your response post to them. So that should get you going here. Let's go back a little bit so we can take a look at the next assignment. And again, these are all due on the end of that unit. Let's see if this will take me back. Nah, it's going to take me way back. Okay, so once you have the discussion ready, the next thing on the assignment list is the exam, and that's pretty straightforward if you've ever taken an exam on Blackboard. It's set up in a very user-friendly way, so you should be able to get through it without many issues. I wouldn't recommend you use a tablet or anything like that, mobile device of any kind. So try a laptop or a desktop if you have access to it. Just click on this and click Begin Exam, and you should be good to go. And then finally, you have your application assessment. So here is the way to submit it. This link here has the instructions for the application assessment. Sorry, that's one of my dogs. And then you have the same as the notes. You can get in and take a look at the rubric. So click View Rubric and scroll down, and you can kind of see how you might have quality or exceeds expectations, meets expectations, and so on for each one of these questions. And then you will upload that here, Browse My Computer, and submit. So I'm going to go out of there, and you should be good to go. Once you are done with that, you will be done with the entire unit. And like I said, both units look identical. So as I click here on Unit 2, you can see how it is set up in the same way. Lectures, film information if you need it. The Unit 2 assignments, which is also set up in the exact same way. Unit 2 notes, although there's different videos for this. Discussion 2, Unit 2 exam, and the Unit 2 application assessment. And then finally, there are some activities here. These are really interesting. They're not required. You don't have to do them, but there's some really fascinating things that you can find out. You can assess your listening skills, for example. You can also, I think in here, there's a couple of self-tests that are usually pretty interesting. What's your conflict management style? How verbally aggressive are you, or how argumentative are you? Those are interesting for you. If you're wanting to have something to kind of supplement what you're doing and see where you fall, you can take a look at those, but they're not required. So that's everything. Hopefully it is pretty straightforward, and hopefully you heard me okay past the barking dogs. And I'll enjoy kind of talking to you this semester, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.